Hi, welcome back. This is Nandini Tripathi from Roots Academy. Today video is based on the quick revision of extraction of metal. This concept do comes in 8th standard, 10th standard as well as in 12th standard. To learn more in detail or concept based, you can join our online program as well as offline program. Thank you. Today we are going to learn extraction of metal. This topic do comes in class 8th, 10th and 12th. Before starting with this topic, it is important to know about metal. And the best way to know about the metal is from reactivity series. In a reactivity series, the metals are arranged with respect to their reactiveness. The metal from potassium to magnesium, they are highly reactive metal. As they are highly reactive, you will get this metal in a combined form. Then it means that you will never get this metal in a free state. Whereas the metal from zinc to lead, they are the moderate reactive. They are moderate reactive and you get it in combined form. Generally, we get it in oxide, sulfides and carbonates form. Like example, zinc oxide, zinc carbonate, zinc sulfate, iron oxide and lead sulfide. Generally, we get oxides in maximum form. Why maximum you get metal in oxide form? Because oxygen they are abundant and also they are highly reactive. Okay, the least reactive metal, silver and platinum, you will never get this metal in combined form. As you're not getting in a combined form, silver and platinum you will get in a free form, and it is very easy to extract. Copper and mercury. Copper and mercury, they are the least reactive metal and you get it in oxide as well as sulfide form. Copper oxide, copper sulfide, mercuric oxide, mercuric sulfide form. And silver, we get it in silver sulfide form. So in this way, we get the metal in their compound form. Okay. The process of extracting pure metal from the ore is called metallurgy. Now, metallurgy process is carried out in few steps. The first step is enrichment of ore, that is benefaction, and in some of the book the name is given concentration of ore. In this step, we actually carry out the removal of gangue, means we remove the impurities, and it can be carried out by several methods, that is magnetic concentration, froth flotation, hydraulic washing, etc. Right now, we are not focusing on this. The second step is oxidation of metal compound to metal oxides. Generally, we get a metal in metallic oxide form. But if we are not getting in metal oxide form, we got in some other form like sulfides, carbonates. Then we will convert those compound into a metallic oxide. Why? Because it is very easy to remove or to extract a metal from metallic oxide. For example, if we got a metal compound in sulfide form, then for example, I have written down your reaction. See, zinc sulfide we will heat in the presence of air. Okay, so any metallic sulfate, you will take metallic sulfides, heat it in the presence of air. What will happen? There will be a formation of zinc oxide and sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide. How you will detect the sulfur dioxide? Because there will be a smell of burning sulfur. Okay. This process is called roasting. Okay. So when sulfide gets converted into oxides form, when you convert the sulfide into oxide form, that process is called roasting. Generally, it is carried out in the presence of air. And we get a sulfur dioxide. Okay, when sulfur dioxide gas comes out, we get the smell of burning like a sulfur. If we get a metallic compound in carbonate form, what we will going to do? We will convert the carbonate into a oxide form. How? We will heat the zinc carbonate or any metallic carbonate in the absence of air. Okay, so heating is carried out here in the absence of air. And then it gets converted into a oxides and carbon dioxide gas will come out. Okay, How to detect the carbon dioxide? If we allow the carbon dioxide gas to pass in lime water, it will turn into a milky. This process, that is the conversion of carbonate into a zinc oxide, okay, conversion of carbonate into a oxide in the absence of air is called calcination. Now reduction. The third step is reduction. In previous step, what we have done, we have converted other metallic compounds into a oxides form. So when we got a metallic oxide or metal oxide, in this step, we convert metal oxide into a metal. Here we get 90 to 95% pure metal. And this reduction, that is reduction means what? Removal of oxygen. This reduction is carried out by heating, by reducing agent, by using a stronger reducing agent, by using an electrolytic reduction. Okay, if this doesn't work out, we are going to use this. Okay, so by this 4 step we carry out the reduction. First is by heating. Generally we do a heating for low reactive metal oxides. For example, mercuric oxide. Mercury oxide, if we heat, what happen? Mercury gets separate out. Okay, and there is a removal of oxygen gas. Why? Because the bond between mercury and oxide is very weak. So as soon as you heat, what will happen? The bond will break. Okay. The second one is by using a reducing agent. Generally, this using of reducing agent we do for a moderate reactive metals. Now in this case, we use a reducing agent which is easily available. Okay, very cheap. Okay, we use that one. For example, we are going to use a coke. Why coke? Because coke has more amount of carbon in it, and carbon is strong. Carbon is good reducing agent. So when we react a coke with zinc oxide, what happens? There is a formation of zinc and carbon monoxide. And if this doesn't work, then we are going to use a reactive metal. Generally, the reducing, we can use a coke as a reducing agent. Okay, if coke do not work, then we can use a reactive metal, but it is an expensive one. It is expensive. This is cheap, easily available. Okay, if this do not work, then we are going to use a reactive metal, and this is expensive. For example, aluminium powder. Okay, when we use a aluminium powder, a reactive metal, aluminium is a reactive. Okay, so when we use a aluminium powder, then we can carry out a reducing reaction. This reaction is called aluminothermite. Okay, aluminothermite process. It is one of the reduction process. In this process, we take a metallic oxide, that is, here I have given some example. Okay, manganese oxide and aluminium powder, it is reacted. What happened? We get a manganese and aluminium oxide, but the heat is produced because it is a exothermic reaction, and because of that heat, what happened? We get a metal in a molten form. The second reaction is iron oxide. When it is reacted with aluminium powder, reaction will take place. You will get iron, aluminium oxide and heat, and due to the heat, what will happen? Iron you will get in a molten form. There is a practical application of this reaction. Where? In a railway track, in a repair of railway track. Suppose this is the track and there is a crack in a track. What I am going to do, how I am going to repair it? I will take a aluminium and iron oxide mixture and I will fill this gap with that powder. Okay, the reaction will take place. As reaction is taking place, what will happen? There is a iron, there will be iron oxide, and due to the heat, because heat is generated, it is an exothermic reaction, no? So because of heat, you will get this iron in a molten form, and this molten iron will fill this crack. Okay, so this way the iron railway track is repaired. Electricity, the last and the fourth method of reduction. It is applicable for highly reactive metal. For example, NaCl. NaCl cannot be reduced by treating with oxygen. If we do that, what will happen? There will be a explosion. We cannot use a reducing agent. Why? Because the bond is very strong. So only option left is electricity. In this case, we use this metallic compound in molten form. Why? Because in molten form, electricity can flow. Now, when we allow the electricity to flow, to move, what will happen? There will be a decomposition. NaCl will get decomposed into a positive ion and into a negative ion. So, like Na plus is the positive and Cl minus is the negative, and they are going to move to their respective electrodes. Na plus will move towards cathode and Cl minus will move towards anode. At cathode, there will be a reduction. Reduction means gain of electron. Okay. So, Na plus will gain electron and it will get converted into Na, sodium. So, here you are getting what? Metal. You got your metal. What about anode? At anode, there will be a Cl minus. Okay. That is a lose of, in anode, there will be oxidation. Oxidation means lose of electron. So, at anode, what will happen? Electron will lose. As you are losing electron, it will become a Cl. Okay, it will become a chlorine. But as you know, a single chlorine atom, it is not stable. So two chlorine atom will combine to form a Cl2 chlorine gas, and it will liberate at anode. So this is the way where we carry out reduction process for highly reactive metal. Refining of metal. This is the last step of extraction process. In this, we are going to do a electrolytic refining. The metal which we received from previous step, in this we are going to do a electrolytic refining, due to which we will get metal which is somewhere around 99 to 100% pure. Generally, electrorefining is carried out for copper, zinc, silver, platinum, etc. In this method, we are going to take a impure metal as well as a pure metal. Impure metal will act as anode and pure metal will act as cathode. There will be an electrolyte, that is copper sulfate. Now, when we allow the electricity to flow, we are going to see that all impure metal will get dissolved in electrolyte. And there will be a reaction, there will be an oxidation reaction taking place at anode, where copper will lose electron and it will form a copper ion. This losing of electron is also called as oxidation. As copper, there is a formation of copper negative ion. This copper negative ion will move towards cathode. And at cathode, the copper negative ion will accept the electron, will gain an electron, and there will be a formation of what? Copper. This is a reduction reaction which occurs at cathode. It means that the pure copper will get deposited at cathode, and all the impurities will get soluble at electrolyte, and if it is not soluble, it will get deposited at the bottom of anode, which we also call as anode mud. So this way, all the pure metal will get deposited at the cathode, and all that metal which we are getting at the cathode is 99 to 100% pure metal. So this was the quick revision for metallurgy process. Thank you.